Alright guys, welcome to a Sephora recommendations video. The sale is starting April 9th for VIB Rouge, and then it rolls out slowly for everybody else. Okay, so I have stuff from like various categories to share with you. There might not be something for every spot because I actually don't even think I have a highlight here to share with you. I just haven't been wearing it that much, so I don't want to be like, I'm like really into this and I'm like not wearing it, right? So, but there is a Pinterest board as always. There is a Pinterest board. It's called Sephora Recommendations, and there's various boards within it. It has all the makeup I recommend to you, skincare, body care, etc. So in this video, we're gonna cover makeup only, and I'll have another video linked below with hair care, skincare, body care, and candles, because candles is the new thing we've been adding, right? Okay. Let's start with complexion. So complexion, I recommend to you the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation is what I have on now. It was in my March favorites. It's just one of the best all-around foundations. It's one of my favorite all year round foundations, and I think it's very difficult to have an all year round foundation, and this one works for me even through the winter. Holds up fairly good during the summer, so I'm like super into this. My shades for everything will be linked below because of the amount of things we're going to talk about. I don't want to spend too much time talking about shades. I also have this Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. It has SPF 45. This foundation was quite popular a couple years ago. I still really like it. I think even though it says Hydra Rescue, in the dead of winter, it does show my dry patches. So I prefer it for summer, fall, spring. I wouldn't really winter, unless you're oily, then you might really love this. But I think this is another one of those kind of mostly all year round foundations that I can wear. And lastly, I feel like no one talks about this, but it's the Giorgio Armani Prima Color Control Glow Moisturizer. This is in the shade 02. It has an SPF of 35 PA+++, and it's a very beautiful, mildly color correcting, very natural looking. There's not much coverage here, and it's brightening, hydrating, glowy, pretty, feels more like skincare rather than makeup, and I just really like using this on like more natural days. I also really like the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation, which I don't have pulled out for you, but I also really like that one. That one has more coverage than this and is also really beautiful. I love using that for winter specifically, but with some powder will still look really great for summer, spring. For powders, we will go with the Makeup Forever, the Matte Velvet Skin. This for me is an all year round powder. It's so good. Hit pan. I already have repurchased the backup. The thing with the Sephora sale, I think, is the sheer amount of brands that they carry is like amazing, right? But now, especially in the past year with the pandemic and everything, brands are doing way more promotions. And the brand websites, i.e. Fenty, Pat McGrath, Makeup Forever, I'm trying to think who else I have here, Charlotte Tilbury probably, and then just all the other makeup retailers that I like to shop from, like Nordstrom, Saks, Neiman. Sometimes like they've just been doing their own really great sales too. But brand websites specifically do 30% off, 25%, 30% off. So technically you're getting a better deal when you shop from the brand website, but depends if there's like a free shipping minimum, right? Tangent. This powder, excellent. The other powder I'd recommend to you is the La Mer Pressed Powder. Again, I've hit pan on this. I really, really love this. It's pricey, so if it's within your budget, I highly recommend it. If it's not, skip it. Maybe get something from Eclipse, which I've been talking about a lot lately. And then lastly is the Kagendo My Fanshi Natural Lighting Powder. This is a backup that I have it sitting opened all the time on my vanity. It's what I use to either finish my makeup. I always use it to set under my eyes. That is the most non-detectable powder I have in my whole collection, like hands down, without question. If you told me I could only use one thing under my eyes for the rest of my life, it would be this. And if you have aging skin or dry skin, I would highly recommend this powder to you. For concealer, I have like the usual suspects and a couple concealers that I feel like I never share with you, and I should. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Macadamia. Mine is disgusting, but I use it all the time to cover up my brows. I had some microblading done a couple, 2-3 years ago that was not good. It still has not faded, so I'm constantly correcting all the areas that I don't want the pigment to show, and this has just been so good. I have the shade Macadamia. I also have the shade Macadamia in the Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have it on under my eyes today. Because it has a slightly peachy tone to it. It has a little bit of color correcting. I did not use a corrector today, so you will probably see a little bit of my darkness, which dumb on my part today. So I have Macadamia for the under eyes, and I use this to spot treat. Like I have dark blemishes, like not blemishes, like when I have pigmentation, I usually dab this on and I go in through the rest of my makeup or something, and then I come back and I pat it in with either a little mini sponge or the Rodial concealer concealer brush. It is my hands down go-to for covering pigmentation. I also have the shade Custard, which is a little lighter, and I sometimes will use Custard and Macadamia together as foundation. All of the concealers I'm going to talk to you about, you can use as foundation. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. Love this. The Makeup Forever HD. I think this is the self-setting one. Again, I'll list the shades I wear below. And then the Pat McGrath Labs Concealer. Mine's LM10. I like this one because it's quite peachy. I can wear LM10 across the board. I do not, however, really enjoy her foundation. I don't know why. It does not look good on me. I've tried it multiple times. I've bought it, returned it, bought it again. It does not look good on my skin. I have one primer to share with you. It's the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I've never been a huge user of primers until I came across this one. I used the one that was in the solid form, and I actually kind of liked it. I didn't love it, but I really like using it kind of as an eye primer. So if you have that, use it there, it works. But until I came across this, I never was like, oh my god, this primer, that primer. I might use a moisturizing primer for certain things, but never an actual primer that I felt kind of smoothed out my skin or filled in my pores that wasn't silicone in a non-obvious way, and this does that. I have it in the center of my nose, like and around this area, like the normal spot where people have pores. For bronzer and contour, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wands. I have both shades. I actually have medium dark on today as my base for my bronzer. These are so good. They're so easy to blend out. I use a synthetic brush to blend them out. I usually run one line here, run one line here, and then right around my jawline. Sometimes I see people sculpt their nose with it. This is just a little too messy for me to sculpt my nose. I think most noses, like this is a bit much. We have the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. I really love this one. I'm actually, I don't know if I put it in my basket, but this is in the shade Biscuit. There's one called Truffle, I believe. Truffle? And it's warmer, so that would be more of a bronzer shade. But this blends out so easily. If you are a no makeup person, you'll love this. If you like having a base for your powder bronzer, you will love this. If you like bolder makeup, if you really like a contour, you're not gonna like this because this blends out and kind of is more subtle. This is the Tarte Cream Bronzer in Seychelles. I have the travel size because it's my preference now. If there is a travel size, I'd love to purchase the travel size of something. They've come out with blushes in this lineup that look really, really pretty. And if the formula is like this one, it should be quite good, but I like this as a cream bronzer. I think this kind of lineup is the best dupe for the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel that people are always trying to duplicate. I think this is probably the best one, I think, on the market that has that same feel and actually is probably superior in formula and in the way it looks on the skin. And I believe there's more than one shade in this. For powder bronzers, I'm recommending the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I have shades 2 and 3. 2 is cooler toned on me and it is more of a contour shade. I can use it as bronzer, but I prefer shade 3. These are very buildable formulas. So this is number 2 and this is number 3. They're buildable, so you might not necessarily like these if you really like to see your bronzer, and I know a lot of people are like that. I am like that. I love bronzer. I'm quite heavy-handed and often need to go in and clean things up. But when I had shade 2, I liked it, but I really had to apply it and really build it up. And it wasn't cakey and it didn't look patchy, but I just didn't want to work that hard. So when I grabbed 3, I like really enjoyed this one because it takes very little time to apply it. I also have the Gucci bronzer here. I actually have this on today. This is in the shade number 2, and I am looking into picking up their face powder because it just looks very appealing to me. If the formula is similar to this, and the packaging is also really beautiful. So shade 2 on today. Do not look at my contour bronzer situation today. It is not my skin. It is not holding pigment. Do you guys see how there's like a huge gap here? Like, I am having this problem more and more, and it's more so on this side of my face. It just doesn't hold any pigment. I exfoliate, I cleanse, I like buff out with a muslin cloth, I apply primer. Like, I don't know what is going on. My skin just does not want to hold the pigment. And on this side, my contour bronzer situation always can look a little patchy. On days that it doesn't, I'm super confused, but those days are few and far between. I would also recommend this Dior Backstage contour palette. I think this originally was probably limited edition, but it's such a great palette. I actually use this shade as a contour today, and there's like a very red bronzer. So a lot of times I'll dip my brush into both of these if I want to bronze with it. This is the shade I have on under my brow today. You can easily use this for your entire face, and that is why I'm recommending it to you, because you can do your eyes. If you're doing a matte look, you can also chisel out your face. And if push comes to shove, you could probably make a face powder by combining some of these. So this is like highly worth it. If you have a Selfridges account, like the Global Plus, any Dior products are way cheaper on there. I actually have a haul from some, did I already, maybe in the vlog previous to this video, I hauled some Dior Quints. Lastly is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. This one is 15i. It's Bake Chalet. It was probably one of the first Bake Chalet bronzers available from like a mainstream brand. And I feel like it got a lot of love when it was released, and then no one talks about it anymore. And then, I don't know, I really love this formula. I have this on top of all the other powder products because oftentimes when matte products look a little patchy on my skin, if I go in with something that is a little more baked and glowy, it kind of hides it a little bit better. For powder blushes, I would recommend the Patrick Ta, both of his formulas. This is his powder only, and this is a powder and cream. He has come out with a sculpting duo. It is already in my cart. I am absolutely going to purchase it. I'm very excited. Anything he releases, I'm generally excited to see it. Whether I purchase it is really dependent upon whether or not I will use that product, you know? And then oldie but a goodie are the NARS blushes. This is Taj Mahal, which, love this. This is the most beautiful. Every skin tone can wear this, every skin color. It is so beautiful. And this is Luster. It's a peachy, I want to say very slight pink, but mostly peach. Very, very pretty. In fact, it would probably go really great with the look I have on today. For cream blush, I have a few to recommend. The Tower 28, these are really good. They have come out with 2 or 3 new shades. I'm probably gonna pick up the like peachier one, so I'm excited for that. These also look really good tapped into the lips. The Rare Beauty Nearly Apricot, these are just so good. These are the no blush blush. If you love blush to show on your cheeks, then you won't like these, because I feel like when you build them, they don't look as good. But if you're like me and you really just like a really subtle blush, like they're like not there. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of cloudy. I love like cloudy blushes. And lastly are 2 from Wander Beauty. It's the same blush formula. They're called the Double Date Lip and Cheek. And on the top you get a blush, and on the bottom you have a very clear highlighter. It looks so pretty. If you're into cream highlights, you will absolutely love this. It looks so beautiful. Okay, we're gonna kind of switch over into like maybe lip eye things. Okay, so the Laneige, I love this. If there's like a set, I'll link it, but I just love this. I keep one everywhere. There's one on my coffee table, on my vanity, where I do my skincare, in my purse, in the office. They're just, I love these so much. And then we have the Patrick Ta She's Juicy. This is a lip balm. It's minty. I really, really like it. I just don't really like this packaging. I generally, for lip products, don't enjoy a pot packaging. There's like no color to it, and I like it because it's not glossy. It's a balm that just kind of looks like, it's like a matte kind of satin thing. It's not without shine, but it's not glossy the way this one is glossy. This is the Tatcha Kissu lip mask. This is super glossy, okay? So because I like both of these products, I've actually just put in an order on Amazon to get like squeezy lip gloss tubes, and I'm just going to transfer these into there because I find that even though I really like these products, I don't reach for them, and I reach for this all the time because it's so much easier. It's not messy. So when those come in, I'm sure I'll share it with you, and then we can talk about how that's so much easier. For eyeshadow palettes, I'm gonna just go and recommend like a whole bunch of Natasha Denona to you because I feel like while I really love Pat McGrath and I really love Charlotte Tilbury, their respective websites do a lot of promotions that I think are cheaper than the Sephora sale. I think that Natasha Denona less often and less so does sales. And if she does, they're either 20% off, and like that's about it. So this is her gold palette. I have this on the eyes today. I love this palette. It doesn't get a lot of love because it's older, which I think a lot of these products probably are. I have this shade on, this shade on, this shade on, and this really crazy, beautiful duochrome. So I just kind of sculpted the eye with all of the matte shades, and then I threw the really beautiful duochrome at the center on the bottom and the center on top. And I really like the way it looks. On camera, I'm not sure how it's looking. It might look a little punched, but I also don't mind that look. I also have the smaller size palettes to share with you. I have the Love palette. Looks like this. These are my tones. I love it. I would probably recommend the bronze one to everyone because it is so easy to use, but it also has like a pop of this blue purple that's really, really pretty. So I would recommend this one to you. God, so shiny. Sorry. And then lastly is the Sunrise palette, which would be really, really great for summer. So I think these are priced really nicely, $65, and then with the 20% off, you can kind of purchase a luxury brand. And just think about like when you buy like a Dior or Armani or whatever, and there's like quints and quads and they're already like 40, 50, 60 some dollars. So at this price point, I would think this is better bang for your buck. So I would recommend pretty much any of the Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes to you, and I would recommend all of these Charlotte Tilbury quads. But if you're looking for something a little more different, I would recommend the Flawless Eye Filter. I believe there's 1 or 2 shades of this on Sephora, and it's just it's a Baked Chalet formula, so the formula is what sets it apart, and I think they're really beautiful and really, really pretty. I picked this one because there's more dimension. I could do a very natural eye, or I could do something very smoky. I think there's 3 of them in total, and one of them might be exclusive to the Charlotte Tilbury website, and that's like the one I want, but I'm like, we'll see. For eyeshadow crayons, I would recommend the Laura Mercier eyeshadow crayons, and I would recommend the Makeup Forever ones. These are really good. They're high pigment, they don't budge, and they're excellent as eyeshadows and as eyeshadow bases. For lip glosses, of course, I recommend Fenty to you. These are the regular glosses, these are the creamy glosses. I believe there is a duo that they've just released of the creamy formula with 2 new shades. It's already in my cart, gonna grab it. I just love her formula. Everything that she does lip-wise is so nice. And then this is the Rare Beauty Balm. This is a sample I picked up. I'm going to get the Nearly Apricot in the full size. I love this formula. It's just so balmy, liquidy. Like if I had to go for pigment and color selection, I would go for Fenty glosses overall. But for formula, I prefer the Rare Beauty because it feels very nourishing, and I feel like that's not common in lip products. So I'm gonna grab this in the full size. I would like to quickly bring your attention to the Surratt Lip Sleeks. I have one of these on right now. I have Nude, I think it's Nude Soleil. I just felt like it would look really good with like At first I had a very bold lip on, and then once I realized I was gonna wear this, it did not look right, so we pulled this one out. I have a Patrick Ta lip liner on with this, but guys, it's kind of glossy, but not super glossy. They just look really healthy. I believe these are like on sale right now, like in the sale section, so with an additional 20% off, they might hit you in like the low 20s. So I have a whole bunch of shades here. We have Nude, Soleil, Ladybug, Paramore, and Gamine. I love this formula. I don't talk about them as much because they're kind of pricey, and they're very rarely on sale. And I'm not really sure what's going on with Surat, but I feel like his stuff is like on sale on a lot of different websites, or the range that is carried on certain websites is like diminishing. So I hope nothing is happening with this brand because I love this brand. I love the Dewdrop foundation, which again, I've been seeing the shades decreasing on websites. The Sephora Melting Lip Click, still on sale for $10, guys. I don't know, grab them. Just grab them while you can. This is like holy grail lip product for me. And then the Charlotte Tilbury Diamonds lipsticks, I really love these. These are not for everyone, they're glittery. I have Pillow Talk diamonds and Lucky diamonds. They just kind of have this really beautiful metallic shiny vibe when you put them on, but they're still like smooth, you know what I mean? I think it's hard to do a metallic that looks smooth. Those almost look like eyeshadows or highlighters, right? Okay, so for lip liners, of course, I'm gonna recommend to you the Patrick Ta. I love the shape of them. They're kind of in this like long rectangular, triangular shape. And I think it just makes sculpting the lips so easy. I feel like they're perfect. I love the shades that he comes out with. There's always really great shades for Asian skin tones. Okay, I've already talked about these in my March favorites, but the Melt lip liners, also incredibly good. They're a dupe for the Pat McGrath ones. I have a whole bunch of Pat McGrath ones. I love her formula. It's like this very thin gel formula that glides on your lips, and I really think the Melt ones are so similar, and they're a little cheaper, so with the discount you can decide which shades appeal to you more. And lastly are the Charlotte Tilbury lip liners. I really love her lip liners as well. I'm a big lip liner person. I feel like you can use it to sculpt your lips and line them, and you can also fill them in, so it kind of is more dual purpose than a lipstick. When I just wear a lipstick, if I don't pat it in, then I really want a liner. So, you know, and even with lip liners, you can like put a whole bunch of it on your finger and tap it in that way for lipstick as well. All right, guys, so as far as makeup goes, that's everything I wanted to share with you. Again, Pinterest will be linked below. Every single thing from every single category that I would recommend to you will be listed down there, as well as the video for hair care, body care, skincare, candles. And let me know, what are you getting? Like maybe I missed something. I'm going into the sale with some gift cards, so I'm pretty excited, but yeah, so I'm gonna film the other video now, okay? See you soon.